I'll show you guys what I ended up getting at the Goodwill Bins on this day. These are all items that I thrifted to resell online on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari for a profit. It's Halloween on the day that I'm filming this, so happy Halloween. And let's just jump right into it. Starting off with a good one, this is a Columbia Sportswear 90s, kind of a ski jacket, or at least a jacket. I guess it might not be totally a ski jacket, but it kind of looks like a ski jacket shell, so I think it might be, but definitely very 90s with this color pattern. When I checked the sold comps on this while I was at the bins, they were ranging from around $40 to $80, so I'll probably expect to get somewhere right around there, but I wanted to make sure it was going to be worth picking up. It did add a little bit of weight to my total at the bins, so I knew it would bring my cost up a little bit. So I wanted to make sure that it would be a, smart buy, but I think this is a really nice one and very 90s, very 90s. Next up is this pair of Madewell, either cheetah or leopard print, I never know the difference, pointed toe mules in a size 8.5. And I thought these were really nice, in great condition. And Madewell shoes, sometimes they do end up sitting for a little bit for me, but usually once they do sell, they leave me with a good profit. So I do like to grab them, especially if I'm only paying a couple dollars for them. And they do have the style number right in here, so it should be pretty easy to look these up and find, a good description for them and a good stock photo. So we will see. I'd probably expect to get I don't know what I'm gonna expect to get for these, so I'm not even gonna say. We'll see what I end up getting for these. All right, then I found this Pure Jill long cardigan, and this is a size 1X, and then it's a linen blend. So for those two reasons, I did want to pick it up. Pure Jill is a brand I think I've only sold maybe one other time, maybe twice. And it did sell both times, not for a lot, but if I'm only spending a couple dollars for it, I think it's worth it. And since it's a bigger size and a linen blend, I do think this will do pretty well and hopefully move pretty quickly. Plus it's a really nice kind of transitional piece. It's longer, kind of good for layering, but still pretty lightweight, so it doesn't add too much, warmth, but I thought this was really a good piece and wanted to pick it up. All right, then I found this pair of Levi's, and they are the 501 style, with some kind of distressing and a button fly. These are a size, I think these are men's. They're a size 28-30, but probably get around 20 to 25 for these. Then my favorite bread and butter item, an airy crew neck, really pretty red color, kind of a burgundy red color. And then it has these balloon sleeves, so they're a little bit of a puffier sleeve, more of a relaxed fit, really comfortable, kind of a cropped length or at least a boxier fit. And this is a size medium. Next up is this Vince, kind of a plum purple hooded long knit cardigan, and it has some front slip pockets. But Vince is a great brand to be on the lookout for if you are newer to reselling. I usually pass on Vince Camuto, but if it's just Vince, those are typically nicer items that go for a lot more. And this one is a wool cashmere blend, so I would expect to get probably right around 50 to 60 for this. It's definitely in really good condition still, and with those nicer materials, cashmere, wool, I do think it will sell pretty quickly. I actually don't come across Vince very often. I find Vince Camuto quite a bit, and I end up passing on it a majority of the time, but finding just Vince, I was excited. This next brand is actually new to me. It is called Rachel Roy, and I wanted to grab these because they are 100% linen. They're a nice pair of casual pull-on pants, but with them being 100% linen, I did want to grab them just because that material does really well, and a lot of people are looking for nicer materials. These items definitely tend to last longer, I think, and they are, the type of materials that people are willing to pay up a little bit for just because they are nicer. We'll see how these do. No idea with this new of a brand, but comps did look good. I definitely checked to make sure it wasn't like an item that would sell for $5, so I think they should do pretty well. So we'll see. This next item is a Nordstrom tie, which I ended up getting to consign. I'm hoping they take it. I really don't like photographing or listing ties. They're pretty easy. I just really don't enjoy doing it, so I'm hoping they take this at the consignment store. If not, I'm going to be annoyed that I even thrifted it. So hopefully they take it, but I think they will. It's perfect time for holiday parties and all that, so I think ties are something the consignment store might be taking, but we'll see. I'm not sure. If they don't take it, then obviously I will sell it myself. This next one, I have never found this brand before, so I was pretty excited. I've only heard about it, and it is St. John. It's this really nice open blazer jacket with shoulder pads in the shoulders. It was made in the US. Really, really nice. I can't remember if it was I think it was a good material. Let's see. What's the material line up here? Oh, it's a wool blend. So it's 68% wool and then the rest rayon. So this is a really nice open jacket. And comps were looking pretty darn good. I really got to make sure I price it right because there were some priced way higher than others. I do think it's harder to sometimes check when you're quickly checking comps. It sometimes shows up a lot of unsold items. If I Google reverse image an item quickly while I'm thrifting just to see kind of the price point it's selling at, that'll usually take you to listings that have not sold yet. So those are the prices that people have it listed at, but it doesn't necessarily mean it'll sell for that much. So I do need to go into the actual sold comps on Poshmark and maybe eBay and see what this exact jacket by St. John has sold for in the past, just to make sure I'm pricing it fairly. It does have a very small flaw in the back here, but I don't think that that is going to prevent it from selling. I definitely will have to lower the price just a tiny bit. This next one is a Free People pullover sweater with a V-neck line and a raw hem at the bottom. It's got some nice cutout detailings all throughout the front there. But I just thought this was a good kind of bread and butter type item. It's a size extra small, and I will probably expect to get right around 20 to 25 for this. Next is this Saks Fifth Avenue 100% cashmere pullover sweater. Really nice, so soft and in excellent condition. I've never actually picked up Saks Fifth Avenue branded items before, so we will see, but with it being 100% cashmere, I think this will definitely do well, especially this time of year. This next one I picked up again because it is 100% linen. It's this long sleeveless dress with a raw hem, maxi length, and I think this is a good kind of laggin look type piece where it's very layerable. I learned that term from Thriftsy. She's a great channel to follow for good brands to pick up, and she does a lot of good ship with me's where you can actually see what's selling for her. So I definitely recommend checking out her channel if you have not. I will link it below, but she a lot of times will get items that fall under that laggin look kind of style. So that's a good keyword to use for more like layering type pieces. And then again with J. Jill, it's not really a brand that I will pick up very often, but the main reason I wanted to grab it is because it's 100% linen and it's a nice style. I think this is a really good fall type item. So see how this one does. All right, then we've got a good old pair of Birkenstocks. Birkenstocks do really well for me, and I grab them at the bins, even if they're pretty beat up. They do end up selling for more than I would expect with how kind of beat up they are. So when I find them, I do grab them, and they usually sell pretty well. So the main thing now for me with Birkenstocks though is I make sure that I can actually read the size on them, because if you get them and the size is worn to the point where you can't read the size, it just makes it tough because then you have to measure them, and I don't think they sell as well personally just because people aren't as confident that it's their right size. I'll usually just put the measurements and then just say it's an approximate measurement because the size is worn out. So that's kind of my new criteria when picking up Birkenstocks, or just I guess shoes in general, but in particular Birkenstocks is where I see that problem. But these ones, they're a size 38, so I could actually see that. Then I found this J. Crew cotton cashmere blend pullover v-neck sweater in a size large. Another good basic. I believe this is a men's large. I think I thought it was a women's when I picked it up. It doesn't really matter. I can obviously list it under men's. This is an item I might end up consigning, or at least trying. I have a consignment store appointment tomorrow, so I'll probably bring in you know, a batch of clothes and see what they take, and then anything they don't take, I'll then of course sell myself. But this is one of those items I think the consignment store takes. Usually the more kind of basic, boring, simple items I like to bring in to consign, and then things that are a little bit more exciting or different or something like that I will usually sell myself, or if I think they'll sell well online. But some items really do just sell better in person. And then another shoulder pad blazer. This one is a Talbot's blazer, and it's definitely got to be vintage. It says made in the US. It has an older vintage looking tag. I think it's definitely vintage, and it has the shoulder pads, all of that. But this is a really pretty blazer, these gold buttons. And I just thought this was a really nice more substantial item. It is a wool blend. It's 94% wool, 6% nylon. So that'll definitely increase its value a little bit. I thought this was a really good one. Again, this is one of those items that did add a little bit of weight. So I think this bins trip I did end up spending like a little over $2 per item. Normally it comes out to somewhere around $1.50 per item. So it did cost a little bit more per item just because there were some heavier items, but I figured if they're items that are going to sell for more, obviously I'm okay to pay an extra 40 cents or whatever per item. It's worth it, but it just ended up being a little bit more per item. So anyways, I probably will expect, I don't know, maybe around $40 for this, but I'm curious once I do a little bit more research. I also want to know how old it is. It's probably not super old, but I definitely think it's an older style that is pretty on trend at this point in time. So I think it should sell well. All right, this might be the best for last. It's this Alice and Olivia sequin halter dress. This is one that I'm either gonna have to model or something because I don't know if it'll photograph very well with the way it is. Like, it's just an awkward one to photograph on a hanger, I think. So if this is something that'll fit me, I gotta try to figure this out, but it's got a high neck and sequins throughout. Really pretty. This would be a good New Year's Eve type dress. I just hope I can get a good photograph or at least a good stock photo. And then even if my additional photos of the actual product aren't the most beautiful on a hanger, then at least hopefully you can see the item. It's definitely the type of item that you need to see how it'll look on. So hopefully it's not too tricky to get some good pictures of this item because it's really pretty and I need to do it justice. All right guys, that's it for this video. While it is still Halloween, I do need to go watch all the Halloween time movies one more time. Hope you guys had a good Halloween. Hopefully your thrift trips have been successful lately if you thrift. If not, hopefully life is just good. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and I will see you in my next video.